I really think that the heat has just gotten to me and that I cannot be bothered to film or edit. Hell, I've been trying to edit one video for nearly a month now, just, well, a few weeks, a few weeks now, just because, yeah, like my holiday vlog, it's taking a while because I'm procrastinating on it because I can't find any energy to do anything other than nap. The temperature is just that insane. I'm that affected by the heat, and when I say that, I'm saying my workplace has no aircon, and therefore I'm just basking in how cool my home is, and just I can't. I don't know. I'm a sweaty mess half the time, and sometimes I just can't be bothered to do anything else. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I've just been neglecting my upload schedule at the minute. Well, I've not felt the need to try to keep to the schedule that I self-imposed on myself. So, hi Shell, and hi to all the other wonderful weirdos watching. That took a lot of energy. I have no idea what to make of this one. So training. I don't understand the title again because I the title is there's no training involved in this story, so I question it. I've been questioning Margaret Atwood's titles lately. And I do not know what to make of this one. Like, oh my god, this one. So there's a guy with somebody. Like, we don't. I get very frustrated with Margaret Atwood and how she opens a story because, as a visual person who needs some descriptions, I barely get them like handed to me at the very beginning. So it's not great for the type of reader I am. So there is just a little discussion on they didn't bring a hat out for her. They warn about sunburn, and yet there is no hat on this person. The sun is in her eyes, but he doesn't realize until he sees that she's squinting. There's something about a puzzle piece. She's bright. They all say she's bright. Yeah, it's so we have a 9-year-old girl, something that doesn't get mentioned until a little later, because I was just like, what is the context here? What who are we talking about? For quite some time, and eventually we get a 9-year-old girl who has a birth defect, who is strapped to a wheelchair because she will thrash about a bit because she has little control over her muscles, and all she can do is sign yes with her left hand. That's all she can do. So she plays checkers by having this one person try to slowly guess which piece she wants moved and waits for the sign yes, and then has to wait until he figures out where she wants it to go. And she's very good at checkers. Like, she really can beat the guy over and over again. But the story isn't about her. So we get this really frustrating. I just don't like the story just from its layout as well. He gets the checkerboard, puts away the puzzle, gets the checkerboard from the camp games hut, because we don't even realize it's a camp until like later. Like, seriously, just a few extra bits of detail put into the description early on would have been a bit better than what I got now. Like, I get very frustrated with lack of information until, like, because Margaret Atwood's style is giving us the information of what is going on a little too late into the story, and by then the picture I formed initially is completely different, because I was thinking, oh, this is a from the first opening thing, I just thought, okay, this is a man playing, like, man who has some time with his disabled wife, who maybe has been in an accident. I don't know. And then the descriptions start rolling in. It's like, no, this is a 9-year-old girl. Oh, he's a counselor, not an uncle. For some reason, the word uncle was dropped in there. I thought, okay, so this is a guy with his niece at a camp. No, we get the description that he's not even that. He's just there. And yeah, I'm having very annoying time with the when the description drops. Like, is it too much to ask for to have information delivered earlier? Just a bit. And then there was the structure of the story. So we end one section of it with them going to find Shade so they can play checkers. Then we get 8 pages. 8 pages of just his background with his family, his entire frustration with the family, the expectation that comes with his family, before we would get returned to them finding a shaded spot for checkers. So during the 8 pages, we do get some good, like, family dynamic of expectations, and this bloke is just not meeting them. So Rob is the main character of this story, and quite frankly, I couldn't care less. I don't like the guy. He's a bit whiny. His whole family's doctors. His whole family is pushing him to be in the same one. And there's also this great description, by the way, of how the expectations are placed on each of the sons. So we have the smart one, the handsome one, and Rob gets placed with the sensitive one. The dangers of putting your labels onto children pretty early on is definitely evident in this story, and it's brilliantly done. He's even commenting on that his older brothers, actually live up to the handsome one, the smart one. Like, I think it's the oldest one that's the handsome one. He apparently lives up to that, and a bit of a heartbreaker and all. Whereas the middle child is passing all of his exams with flying colours, top of his class, etc. So he's living up to the smart one, which is also kind of, I wonder the expectations that is put on his shoulders. Yikes. But Rob hates being called the sensitive one, so he's actively done stuff, like behaved in a way to try and get rid of the label, whilst also being forced down a path he doesn't want to be. Like, he's a squeamish person. He can't stand blood and stuff. Like, he tried to look away during an autopsy or something, like a surgery that his dad pulled his sons to observe. Yikes! Why would you do that? Why would you bring your sons? I mean, yeah, they might be old enough to do it, but maybe ask what they want to be when they grow up. Don't just force medicine on them. So yeah, he can't stand it. He doesn't want to be it, but he's like, everybody's forcing him down this path, and he's waiting for the crash and burn, because that's not what he wants to do. He knows he can't do it. He's going to fail. And I kind of can sympathize when his family, quite, to be blunt, they're bullies. They really are bullies. He's being bullied by everybody in his life right now, including teenagers. in the camp. It doesn't matter if they're disabled, they are lashing out on Rob. They are being horrific. And the other person who is looking out for them in the same building, in the same what's it, bunk, I guess, he's not helping. He's just going, oh, you've got to humor them. No, if they're being little shits, you need to scold them. It doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm not fond of bullies as a bully victim myself, having experienced it in the family as well as at school. I know what it's like to be constantly berated by everybody, older, younger, and family members, even though it's considered normal, and that's kind of how you get given names by the family. When a family labels you, that is also a form of bully behavior, bully mentality. It's not great. So we do get a decent examination of that in the 8 pages. However, yikes. I just really hated this one for other reasons. Like, Rob is not very particularly likable either. He develops a fixation on Jordan, who is the 9-year-old who can beat him at checkers. It's a little, it's getting to the point where it's getting unhealthy. Like, I thought the story was going to be about Jordan, but it isn't. It's about Rob and his internalization of everything. It's like, great. I kind of would have preferred some really cool thing, because there was like, she can look at Rob and he feels like she can see through the act he's having to put on, and just to get through what he's being forced to do, because he doesn't want to be at this camp. But his father said, this will be good for when you get into helping people, when you go into medicine and etc. This will be good for you. And just, yeah. And it doesn't make any better the fact that he didn't even have a choice or a say in the matter. He couldn't even say no, because his dad already arranged it, because he knew the director of the camp. And so he's forced to be there because he can't back out, because it had all been pushed along so far. That doesn't give Rob any... It's not giving Rob much excuse to be the way he is. I mean, yes, we have his internal thoughts, and they are very shitty sometimes, yeah, but yikes. When we do get back to the checker match, the bell goes, and then, because they have to find a shaded spot, they go on a walk around a forest walk, and so he hears a bell go. After a few moves, he jots down where they are in the game, and on the way back to the main areas for her time swimming, I think, is the next bit. There, he decides to say he's going to give her something nobody else would probably think of. He's going to take her out of the chair, put her in the grass so she can feel the grass and the river, the little stream. I mean, obviously he waits for her to say yes to it. But still, it's just kind of that entitlement going, this is exactly what she needs. Bearing in mind they're alone. So he's taking this 9-year-old child out of her wheelchair, putting her down on the grass, and she does start to thrash a bit because it might be overstimulating for her, because she's not touched grass in, yeah. another adult in charge. I think they're just counselors. So a counselor came running up. Apparently, there's a twig in her hair, so I don't know what she's been up to. Like, seriously, she is just like, "What are you doing to that child?" And apparently, she's already had a conversation with the director of the camp, saying that Rob's got this, spends too much time with Jordan. So he's kind of incredibly upset that he's going to be forced to not spend time with Jordan anymore. So he's like frantically going, she's not going to think about, she's going to feel betrayed by this. He's basically developed quite an unhealthy obsession, because, and the evidence is pretty much displays itself in his reaction to it, because he's just like ripped off the button from his shirt sleeve and going, "Feel this. It, it's a magical button. It will be there regardless whether or not you can feel it or not." Yeah. I kind of feel like this story is also not examining that, like not giving Rob a proper, like it. I kind of really hated this one just because because I don't want to feel sympathy for this guy, but we've just had 8 pages of him being led down this path that he really doesn't want to be down, and now he's developed an obsession with somebody who can't speak and keeps beating him at checkers. And anywho, I just want to move on because I don't want to talk about this story anymore. I was very hesitant to actually do this as a, just skip this one, just because it's like I really did not like being inside the mind of Rob whatsoever. So I don't want to discuss what's inside the mind of Rob. It's not going there, but because of his isolation amongst adults who keep, I don't know, pushing him further away, he has developed an unhealthy obsession with somebody who can't actually speak for themselves other than sign. Yeah, whilst also being 9 years old. Not great. This story ends with the teenagers he hates. One of them, who is actually paralyzed from the neck down. We do get an interesting, like, yes, I hate this person. Oh my god, he's into this play. I have something to use against him now. Oh wait, no, I can't be doing that. Still teenagers that can't. And then the shame that washes over him for even thinking that he can use a passion of this teenager against him, because he has been treated really badly. And that part was interesting. It was kind of well done, but it's like, I could have done without. I guess I just don't like teenagers whatsoever. So I really can't. I never got on with teenagers when I was a teenager, so I never understood the jeering and, yeah, the mean parts that teenagers go through. It's not, yeah. There's this play put on, and they've been working on their parts for a long time, and Rob tries his best to sit close to Jordan as best he can. And then through this, he kind of starts internally mocking the kids on stage, because he just finds the fact that what they're trying to do is not coming across well because they are disabled, but they have been practicing really well and their hearts are in this. But because his internal, uh, his horrible thoughts, he wants to laugh at them so badly that he's got to excuse himself, and he even sees that Jordan has seen him. He's trying to make it look like he's coughing instead of laughing, so he's excusing himself and he goes out into a field and laughs. Story ends there, by the way. And yeah, it's not great. So, and the line that it ends with a very weird visual of who is that man in the gown holding a knife. I don't know, it felt like it came out of nowhere. My brain had to like rejig itself, going, hang on a minute, there was that whole thing with the surgeons, etc. in his background, 8 pages, etc. Yeah, I did not like the story. Can you tell? I just not. So I disliked the story so much that I couldn't even grasp what it was trying to do. I don't even know what it was trying to do. I feel like this should. The protagonist it has an interesting out like exploration into the labels in which we give to children and the pressure that we keep forcing people into like scenarios and jobs that they don't want to be in and etc. But other than that, I hated it. Oh yeah, it's not great. I wish there was a bit more sympathy in Rob, like whatsoever. Just a bit more. But I'm assuming there was like, because this is from the what 1980s. The language used is uncomfortable to say the least. So yeah, that was this week's short story. I wish I could like run away from this story, but I don't. I have come across somebody say that if you don't jive with Margaret Atwood's fiction, might try her non-fiction instead, because at least I'm not the only person that doesn't jive with her non-fiction. I'm gonna get to the end of the short story, read I think I've got 2 of her novels, one in audio format, so I could probably get through that one quicker, and then one physical sci-fi. And then I'm gonna see if that's it, because I genuinely feel like Margaret Atwood might not be the author for me. And it's just, I mean, yes, the conversations that are being discussed are interesting. It's just, I guess it's the way in which they're being discussed is like, I don't like the format of the story and having a complete 8-page detour of a deep dive into Rob's background and how he ended up in this place, and then the conflict he's having with teenagers in this place as well. Like, and I also kind of really dislike Margaret Atwood's lack of scene setting. Like, I couldn't even picture much. It just, I really am a visual person and I need those visual cues. Otherwise, the movie don't play in my head. It's very it does affect my enjoyment in reading. So it just might be her writing style as well as um the other issues I'm struggling with. So I am learning about my preferences in writing, in authors' writing styles as I go. So kind of hoping the longer fiction is better, but at the same time, don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anywho's, that's this week's short story. I really did. I'm nearly at the end of this one, so I think I've got a few more left. I think 4 or 5, so we should be good. And then I can put this down, pick up something else. I think I've organized my schedule so that I can probably get this done by the end of September or August. I can't remember how I've paced this out, but at least I can get this wrapped up sooner, because, yeah, I am struggling with Margaret Atwood's fiction, or at least the short stories, because I am like just questioning like the purpose of some of this stuff. But then again, sometimes it doesn't need a purpose. It's fine. And some of the choices in this collection. I mean, one thing is for sure. Stephen King, when I did Night Shift as part of Short Story Saturday, when I didn't like a story, I at least knew that I would have something different potentially in the next one. Like, I would at least be entertained in some way, shape, or form. This one, it just feels like it's a bit on a boring ride, and I'm very uncomfortable on the way. That's what it feels like in Dancing Girls at the minute. Like, I'm that puzzled. So yeah, I am starting to think that Margaret Atwood is not the author for me, but I will finish the collection and then try one of her other stories that has a longer narrative, just because I do feel like I want to try in some way. So yeah. Anywho, bye, Shell. And bye to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.